एक्टिंग क्यों कर रहे हो? कोई नहीं देख रहा।
Hey everyone, welcome back to ChaatNChat. My name is Josh.
My name is Miguel.
And we are watching Dil Dhadakne, though this is part 3, so if by chance you've missed part 1 or part 2, then you can check both of those out by clicking the playlist link in the description of this video. And this is the members' pick. So
yes.
if you did not vote in this last vote, then be sure to join the next voting poll, which should be live now, and you can go over to our Patreon page to go do that and vote. So looking forward to the next pick as well. And if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing, sharing, our like button पर टप्पर मारो.
मुझसे बात किया होता बेटा, मैं भी तुम्हारी माँ जैसी ही हूँ. हुआ क्या है?
Oh wow, it
Oh,
is
man.
everybody staring at her, putting her on the spot.
मानव के लिए मेरी जो फीलिंग्स होनी चाहिए वो नहीं है मुझ में.
लेकिन प्रॉब्लम क्या है?
Like there's a problem?
She's saying, what's the big deal with not having feelings? You could still have a husband and not have the feelings.
दोनों एक दूसरे से बहुत अलग हैं.
हम मानव तुम्हारा पति है, जुड़वा भाई नहीं.
Okay. There's going to be a showdown here brewing. He's going to say, well, look at how you and mom are going and this is, you're unhappy and you're both doing your own thing.
Is he having an affair?
No.
Not that I'm aware of.
मानव भी मेरे साथ खुश नहीं रह पाएगा.
वो मेरा डिसीजन है.
Tell her you don't want to have a baby,
शादी में
that's a
ये
big
सब
thing.
प्रॉब्लम्स होते रहते हैं. तुम दोनों जल्दी से जल्दी एक बच्चा पैदा कर लो.
Jeez. And stop with the baby. That is, if you're unhappy and you bring a baby into it, that will not fix things.
जब मैं खुद ही इस रिश्ते में खुश नहीं हूँ तो
That's
बच्चा
right.
मुझे सही
She's
नहीं
right.
लगता है.
Correct. I'm with her.
हम यहाँ हमारी एनिवर्सरी सेलिब्रेट करने आए हैं. हमारे मेहमान ये सब सुनेंगे तो क्या कहेंगे? कभी सोचा है?
Well, it's always about appearance, though. That's the thing, especially for a posh family, it's appearances.
आइंदा से ये बात इस घर में कभी नहीं होगी. मैं तुमसे बात कर रहा हूँ आयशा.
Sorry पापा.
She knows
You're
her
just going
brother's
to leave.
got
तुम
her
ऐसा
back.
क्यों कर रही हो हमारे साथ?
Doing this to us, I get it on a certain level, but it's not all about you.
तुम ये मत समझना कि तुम हमारे पास वापस आ जाओगे. अब वो तुम्हारा घर नहीं है.
Fine. I leave. I got
You're
my
not
money
going
on
to
that.
support
She does,
this
she has
nonsense.
her own.
That's...
Brother?
They-
Brother
and-
needs
and-
to
and
stand
yeah,
up.
Yeah. She's stronger than all of them. And more mature.
आयशा कहाँ है?
वो बहुत अपसेट है.
वो अपसेट है. Why?
भाई what do you mean why? पापा आप कैसे कह सकते हैं कि वो वापस घर नहीं आ सकती?
मैं जो कर रहा हूँ उसकी भलाई के लिए कर रहा हूँ.
Oh no, for your benefit.
अगर आयशा के लिए हमारे घर में जगह नहीं है तो मैं भी वहाँ नहीं रह सकता.
He does not have means of his
Hello,
own
me.
to
तो फिर
survive.
क्या है? Emotional blackmail.
आप जैसा.
Yeah, that's what you're doing to your daughter.
Get out. मैं भी देखूं तुम कितनी दूर जाते हो. तुमने आज तक किया क्या है? Tell me, what do you have? Nothing.
He's a pilot. He's got skills.
और जाओ, कहीं बाहर जाकर नौकरी करो. 2 दिन में अकल ठिकाने आ जाएगी. Bloody idiot.
See, it's all about him and his success and his image and yeah,
But
it's
now
all-
it's more of a, like, a challenge for
Yes,
him. He's like,
yeah.
to prove him wrong. He's
Yeah.
like, look, I can survive on my own.
Yep.
गुस्से में लोग कुछ भी कह देते हैं कभी.
Yeah, no, let's see. She runs a travel agency. He's a pilot. Sheesh.
His sister runs the agency.
Right. Not, I couldn't tell who it was that he was.
तुम्हारे पास ये है. ये. दिल से फैसला करो तुम्हें क्या करना है. दिमाग तरकीब निकालने का.
That's right.
मैं सिंपल है क्या?
नहीं.
No.
थोड़ी मेहनत
It's
भी
a good
करनी
start.
पड़ेगी.
जूते किस चाहिए?
हाँ?
I didn't even understand what it meant.
Kick my shoes off?
मुझे मानव से उस तरह बात नहीं करनी चाहिए थी. मैं बस यही कहने आया था कि मैं हमेशा अपनी हदें याद रखूंगा. I'm really sorry.
What a stand-up guy.
Friends?
I'd rather jump.
Whoa.
Come on, Pluto. Come on, baby.
I thought the dog had to be on a leash.
I guess he wants to stay.
He's like, don't worry, she'll come around.
Yeah.
She'll be back.
She'll be back. Got your back, man. Making her think about it.
तुम वहाँ उसे मेरी याद दिलाने गए थे ना? क्या हुआ buddy?
Falling down on your job. I'm doing the best I can, but they're crazy, man. They're crazy. Right? See?
बात कहनी किसी से है मगर कहते किसी और से हैं और सबसे ज्यादा जो बात कहने में शर्माते या कतराते हैं वो है प्यार की बात.
Aw.
कौन इन इंसानों को समझाए कि अगर दिल में किसी से मोहब्बत है तो कह क्यों नहीं देते?
Dude.
He's such a sweet puppy.
यार ये क्रूज बड़ी महंगी पड़ रही है। क्या कंजूस है ना अल्कोहलिक? हर साल 1 क्रेट शैंपेन अटक जाती है।
And meanwhile, he's like,
कबीर की मंगनी क्यों नहीं अनाउंस कर देते? सूद के ज्योतिष जी का इंतजार है। Can you believe it?
maybe the astrologer is gonna come.
इंदु को मंगनी की खबर दी तो ना? ना। उसके पेट में बात कहाँ बसती है?
Oh, he's gonna use that.
तो फिर खुशखबरी देने का टाइम आ गया।
Oh, force the hand.
ये नूरी ना बड़ी स्मार्ट है, झंडा गाड़ दिया उसने कबीर के दिल पे।
कबीर और नूरी?
मैंने कुछ नहीं कहा। हाँ?
That's all it took.
मैं तो तेरे राणा से बहुत इम्प्रेस थी, लेकिन देखो ना उस रात उसने जाके उस पर उल्टी कर दी।
What?
मेरे लिए वो चैप्टर क्लोज हो गया है। आई एम मूविंग ऑन।
Oh, these aunties are mean.
वैसे काफी फेमस जर्नलिस्ट है सनी।
इसी बहाने ना दिव्या थोड़ा घूमेगी।
आप लोगों के पास और कोई काम नहीं है क्या? अपने बच्चों को अकेला छोड़िए और कुछ ढंग का काम कीजिए। Get a job.
Yeah, exactly. She left her purse.
पागल हो गई है? हमें कौन जॉब देगा?
Exactly, because you guys have allowed yourself to be.
The gossip section of a newspaper, maybe.
Yeah, really.
वो बुढ़ियों की टोली दिव्या के साथ तुम्हारी शादी प्लान कर रही।
क्या?
Yep, you heard me.
दिव्या के साथ?
Please, Sunny.
And why are you so upset about it?
अगर वो तुमसे कुछ पूछे, you just say no. Just no.
ये भी तो हो सकता है कि she's a very nice girl. You know.
वो मेरी cousin है।
Why do you care? तुम्हारी शादी तो हो चुकी है।
Obviously, it
Not
does now.
now.
नहीं होती ना अगर तुम कर लेते।
कर लेता अगर तुम थोड़ा इंतजार कर लेती। लेकिन पहला रिश्ता आते ही तुम तो टूट पड़ी आयशा।
This is going to be a hard conversation.
मैं टूट पड़ी।
Listen,
मैं टूट पड़ी।
you really want to talk about this right now?
Yes, I think it's high time, don't you?
Get that elephant out of the room.
अरे तो क्या था तुम्हारा प्लान? क्या भाग जाए?
तो और क्या करते हैं हम सनी?
Are you crazy?
तुम्हें क्या लगता है पापा ने तुम्हें अमेरिका क्यों भेजा? वो तुम्हें कॉलेज नहीं मुझसे दूर भेज रहे थे।
That's what we suspected.
Yeah.
तो फिर ये भी मुझे बताओ कि मानव से शादी करने के लिए उन्होंने तुम्हें कैसे कन्विंस किया?
वो उनको करने की जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ी, क्योंकि वो तो तुमने ही कर दिया।
What? Because he studied?
आयशा, मैं तुम्हारे फादर के मैनेजर का बेटा हूँ। मैं कुछ बनना चाहता था, इस काबिल बनना चाहता था कि उनसे शादी की बात कर सकूं। Don't you get it?
Yeah.
He went to Yale, he got a journalist, he became a big person, he wanted to be respected in their eyes and not.
Yeah.
I see that.
Yeah, yeah. And so, in the same way that girls are
बेकार की
positioned
बहस में
in
भी क्या?
certain ways, the poor guys, oh, goodness. The guys are in the same sort of situation of where they're forced to do certain things that they don't want to do either.
तुमसे दोबारा मिलना मेरे लिए कितना मुश्किल था तुम नहीं जानती।
तो फिर आए क्यों तुम?
चॉइस क्या था मेरे पास? पापा ऐसे बिहेव कर रहे थे जैसे उनकी जिंदगी का आखिरी हॉलिडे।
Oh.
So is that it?
Yes, that's it. That's it. जाओ अपनी बैचलर जिंदगी जियो, अपनी गर्लफ्रेंड्स के साथ do your thing.
Who says he has all these
ऐसा सोचती हो
girlfriends?
तुम?
जैसा सुनती हूँ मैं वैसा सोचती हूँ।
You guys should all know the gossip isn't worth beans here. So they're all meeting her?
Sure you don't want anything?
Something here?
थप्पड़।
Yeah, they're away from.
यहाँ हो तुम लोग।
Oh, no.
We know all about it कि इसकी शादी पक्की हो गई है। To her.
Uh-oh.
किसने कहा आपसे?
तुम्हारी इंदु चाची ने। Come on. I think it's very good कि इस engagement के चक्कर में नहीं पड़ना।
This is so. Oh, man. He should have at least told his girlfriend, Farah, what the whole plan was.
Yeah.
Are you okay? No. Look, I'm really sorry, but I have no idea. तुम लोग एक दूसरे से बात नहीं करते हो क्या?
Exactly.
हम मिले, I liked you, we had a fun time. मैं ठीक थी, तो फिर ये I love you, I want to be with you, ये सब झूठ बोलने की क्या जरूरत थी?
This whole game playing thing to get to.
Yeah, he's guilty of it too, playing the game. Even though his parents play games, he was playing a game as well.
मैंने सोचा मैं भी उनको दिखा दूंगा, अगर वो मुझे अपनी कंपनी के लिए यूज कर सकते हैं, मैं भी उन्हें यूज करूंगा अपनी प्लेन के लिए।
तो तुम में और उनमें फर्क क्या हुआ कभी?
Right.
Did you tell them about the card?
कबीर, वो important नहीं था. Can you please just grow up?
You pick your battles, right?
तुम नहीं जानती कि तुम्हारी बुआ की शादी होनी थी मेरे चाचा से, और शादी से 1 दिन पहले भाग गई वो किसी और के साथ।
That's because तुम्हारे sleazy चाचा का affair चल रहा था उनकी secretary के साथ.
We finally learned the story.
उन्होंने मेरे चाचा को खरीदा नहीं था, जैसे तुम्हारे डैड खरीद रहे हैं ना कमल अंकल को तुम्हारे लिए।
What? Holy crap!
Whoa!
Dad.
That's some.
Oh, and Dad is gonna see. Oh.
What?
Oh boy.
Yeah, we see you. We see you.
यूं से कहना मैं शिप वापस जा रहा हूँ.
ये पुटलू को ले जाओ ना अपने साथ.
कम बेटा. आओ बेटा.
अरे
कम.
ये पूरी है.
okay. Good night, everybody.
Good night, बेटा.
I think she's the most balanced and in the real of all of them.
कमल अंकल ने मुझे और राना को एक साथ देख लिया.
तो क्या कर रहे थे तुम दोनों?
Going at it like rabbits almost.
कमल अंकल, क्या हुआ आपको?
Sir, are you okay?
Does he look okay?
How is he?
Oh, don't think about that way.
see, yeah.
That's horrible. You can't take the blame for that.
डॉक्टर सभी उन्हीं के साथ कुछ महीने से एंटी एंजाइटी पिल्स ले रहे. मुझे तो पता भी नहीं था.
Yep, y'all don't tell each other, don't talk to each other.
There's nothing to worry about. It's a severe case of gas, and we've given him something for the heartburn, and he'll be fine in a few minutes.
But it still puts things into perspective about how short life is.
तुमने जानती इतनी देर मुझ पर क्या गुजरी है?
तुम पर क्या गुजरी?
अरे क्या कर रही हो?
तुम पर गुजरी है. तुम पर क्या गुजरी है?
Stop it!
कभी मेरे बारे में सोचा है?
तुम वो नूरी को भूल जाओ प्लीज.
क्या? क्यों?
Maybe this worked out.
मैं उसके और राना के बारे में जानता हूँ.
नूरी राना के साथ है?
Romeo and Juliet.
मैं सिर्फ उनकी मदद कर रहा था. I'm sorry.
That's it? You're sorry? Sorry का क्या मतलब है? ये बहुत ही सीरियस बात है कबीर.
आपके लिए तो ये बिजनेस डील है ना?
वो बिजनेस सिर्फ हमारा नहीं, तुम्हारा भी है.
मेरा नहीं है.
You've already made
और
that.
मैं नहीं चाहता आपका बिजनेस.
अरे क्या मतलब है नहीं चाहिए तुम्हें बिजनेस?
He's not interested in it. It's not his passion.
मुझे नहीं बनना है आइका का सीईओ. मैं इसके काबिल नहीं हूँ.
वो मैं जानता हूँ लेकिन सीख लो.
नहीं मैं नहीं सीखूँ.
I know that, but
बेच दे आयका किसी और को.
She's miserable. Can't you guys see that? आप लोगों को परवाह नहीं है क्या?
Of course परवाह है. लेकिन इस सोसाइटी में डिवोर्स का मतलब जानते हो? ये आसान नहीं है.
it goes back to society and it's so hard.
और क्या है आपकी मोरालिटी और क्या है आपके संस्कार? प्लीज टेल अस.
Stop it कबीर.
Oh, it's true. सबको पता है इनके बिजनेस ट्रिप्स के बारे में. कहाँ जाते हैं, किसके साथ जाते हैं, क्या करते हैं और कैसे आप प्रिटेंड करती है जैसे कि कुछ हुआ ही नहीं. Whereas the truth of the matter is आपके पास कहीं और जाने को है ही नहीं.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cards are getting laid out and shown on the
Not
table.
ready for that.
तमीज नहीं है बाप से बात करने की.
मैं आपसे भी बात कर रहा हूँ.
मुझसे बात करो ही मत तुम कभी.
No.
Shut up.
No.
चेहरा भी नहीं
I'm not going anywhere.
बात क्या करनी है? अब क्या बचा है बोलने को?
मैं फारा से प्यार करता हूँ. वो डांसर है और मुसलमान है.
Another bombshell, dude. It's like, let's lay it on. It's already out, so let's just go.
We got divorce daughter. We got him. Not gonna go anywhere. We're gonna talk about it. She's sitting in too. I love it. I love it.
Let's go.
Let's go. You guys are. Everything is gonna be on the table.
I need to talk to you.
I don't like her attitude at all.
लेकिन मैं कभी भी नूरी से शादी नहीं करने वाला था. मैं बस स्टूपिड गेम खेल रहा था अपने डैड के साथ. Please, I'm sorry. I love you.
ये गेम्स तुम अपने डैड के साथ ही खेलो. This is my place of work. Get out.
That's the thing. She's always been a straight arrow, right? She said what she means. She does what she means. And him playing those games, I understand where she's coming from.
क्यों नहीं छोड़ा मुझे?
कबीर ने कहा ना, तुम्हें छोड़ के कहाँ जाती?
माफ कर सकोगी मुझे?
I wanna.
तुम मुझे भूल गए कमल.
And that's what Aisha doesn't want to give up her business and stuff because then she'd be like her mom and be stuck and couldn't get out.
Exactly. He's got a long way to go to make up.
सब जगह खुशबू चल रही है. इस लड़की को ना तो अपनी फिक्र है, ना अपनी फैमिली के नाम की फिक्र है. ये सब देखने से पहले मर जाती तो अच्छा होता.
There it goes again. Why is it all about me?
इतने साल इन्वेस्ट किया हमने इस लड़की में. इन्वेस्ट किया मुझ में मतलब? क्यों कुछ गलत कहा मैंने? बुरा लगा तुम्हें? गुस्सा आ रहा है? बोलो ना.
Oh, do you think you wanna? You're poking the bear. You're poking the bear.
अगर मैंने कुछ बुरा कहा हो तो प्लीज मुझे माफ कर दो. अगर माफी से भी काम नहीं चलता तो मैं अपने प्राण त्याग दूंगी.
Whoa, that went 0 to 100 real quick.
वो बटर नाइफ है, ये बेटर है.
How dare you speak to my mother like that?
मैं तो मदद करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ.
Yeah, not the time, dude.
हमें वापस जाना चाहिए. Please, चलो. मानव. Aish, pack up your bags. Let's go.
Manav, I can't leave. मेरे पेरेंट्स की एनिवर्सरी है.
मुझे मजबूर मत करो कि मैं तुम्हें फोर्स करूं, all right?
Force?
Easy, हाँ, टाइगर.
Shut! ये मेरे और मेरी बीवी के बीच की बात है.
That's his sister, dude.
Stop.
Let's go! Get up! Hey! Get up! Get up! What do you think you're doing?
Yeah, violence. Again, it was.
There's so much stress, I can't.
अगर मेरी बेटी पर एक उंगली भी उठाई तो ये हाथ उखाड़ कर समंदर में फेंक दूंगा, समझे?
I get that everyone's on end, but
अपने बेटे को लीजिए और जितनी जल्दी हो सके यहाँ से चले जाइए. Please go.
आप गलती कर रहे कमल जी.
no, I made a mistake earlier.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
He needs space. It's a lot to process for him. Again, it's about his image. It's about his failures. He doesn't want to have any failure.
And I think he also realizes sending Sunny away was a bad move. I think that's him making that mistake.
Isn't this Farah's room?
She left. She got fired. She got off an hour ago.
Oh, he got her fired. Because the drama in the workplace. That was messed up.
Yeah, when that one officer was kind of at the end of that one scene, kind of thought, what's gonna go on there?
What's up, Rohan? Sir, it's an emergency. It's imperative that I get off the ship right now. Please stop the ship.
Kabir,
Stop the ship!
Kabir,
You don't tell me to calm down! अरे समझाने यार इसको!
Lo siento, lo siento. Yo me encargo.
Lo siento. Why is he telling them in Spanish?
Because they were in a Spanish port? I don't know.
अगर शिप पे इमरजेंसी होती होगी, they must be having a procedure. बिना किसी वजह ये शिप नहीं रुकने वाले.
Oh, and don't give him a reason, you'll be on a list.
I love you.
He's gonna jump over the edge?
Aisha's getting a divorce.
Oh, a parting gift?
Yeah. He's like, oh, by the way.
I love you और तुम हमेशा मेरी दोस्त रहोगी. लेकिन मैं तुमसे शादी नहीं कर सकता क्योंकि मैं किसी और से प्यार करता हूँ. I'm sorry, Noori.
Start crying. Do something.
Noori!
Noori! Oh, I'm
I'm really sorry.
You're sorry now. You're sorry.
Sorry it had to happen this way.
Happen this way, happen that way. कबीर, ये सब तुमने जो किया है ना, बहुत गलत बात है.
He's bringing the families together.
पापा, क्या मैं आप पे भरोसा कर सकता हूँ? क्योंकि आप ही मेरी लाइफ बोट है.
I told you he's gonna jump over.
That is so high, too.
Yeah. Oi, 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 oi. It's hard.
Well, it's even worse if the boat's going really fast, but I don't think it's gotten up to speed.
Men overboard, starboard side. Hard starboard.
Come on,
That's a really long way to swim.
Stop engines. Starboard side. Starboard side.
Be careful.
I would, yeah. I don't think that's their job.
Ah, lifeboat, lifeboat.
They're like, oh man, there's a mob gonna rush us.
I'll pay you as much as you want. Back up now. They're not listening.
Emergency.
They're all gonna end up in the brig together. We got
it's mutiny.
The two of them just end up in the boat together.
उसे पोर्ट ले जाना नीरू. ये लोग उसे पकड़ेंगे और अरेस्ट करेंगे. I have to go.
मैं भी साथ आ रही.
अभी नहीं.
अभी नहीं तो काम कमल.
अरे यार काम.
मैं भी चला.
ना तू इधर रुक और मेहमान का ख्याल रखिए, ठीक है?
इधर मैं सब संभाल लूंगा. तुझे फिक्र ना करना, ठीक है?
Wow, he actually showed some affection instead of treating me like I'm his servant.
Step back.
Sorry, I'm gonna go.
Oh, the doctor. He's like, wait for me, I'm coming.
Are you okay?
I don't know.
Everybody hang on.
Okay.
Yeah, it drops fast. You need to sit in the boat.
मेरा इंतजार करोगे? Damn it, Sunny, say something. मेरा इंतजार करोगे?
हमेशा के लिए.
Oh, it's so cute. But they're all going for a break.
Yeah. They're gonna have to do a secondary episode, Gilligan's Island, where they're all on a separate island all by themselves.
पापा वो रहा देखो.
Careful, Kamal, don't kill my son.
Yeah, don't run him over.
पापा पापा वहाँ देखो.
Uh-oh, it's gonna be a chase now.
Oh yeah. Oh,
the
that,
authorities are after him.
that.
We need to go, Papa. We're almost here. चलो जल्दी जल्दी.
Down, boy.
He did pay for the cruise, so you should lay off
Well,
of him.
yeah, but to jump overboard,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
putting a lot of
Yeah,
people
it's
at
gonna-
danger because they have to do all this stuff.
Oh God, क्या ये लोग सचमुच हमें अरेस्ट करने वाले हैं?
Obviously नीलू, लेकिन इस बेवकूफ को पोर्ट पर छोड़ने के बाद
And it's also not just them on the boat, right? There were a lot of people on the boat that
True.
paid to be there.
Yeah. True.
अब मेरी इस फैमिली को ही देख लीजिए। आज इन्होंने समझा है कि सिर्फ मोहब्बत ही काफी नहीं है। जिसे मोहब्बत दी है, उसे थोड़ी सी आजादी भी देनी होगी। अगर कोई अलग तरह जीना चाहता है, तो उसे जीने दो। हर दिल अपनी ही तरह धड़कता है। हर दिल धड़कने
I
दो।
like that. That's a nice way to put it.
क्या हुआ अगर हमारी कश्ती छोटी है? बड़ी बात यह है कि हम साथ हैं, एक दूसरे के लिए। और क्या चाहिए?
Okay, so we at least need to see a wedding and maybe him flying and her doing something fantastic. And
All right, why don't you kick us off? How'd you?
I don't want to kick it off.
You don't want to kick it off. Okay, that's on me. This was very stressful. I have high anxiety and I get stressed very easily. And I think things like this trigger it a little bit more for me than maybe another person because I actually grew up in a very dysfunctional family. And there was so much fighting, so many politics things going on. Like you always had to be careful what you said to that person or to this person because that person isn't talking to this person. And I mean, it was a lot of stressful family dynamics. So when I watch a movie like this, that starts reminding me of all the fighting, especially that scene where he was sitting at the table and the two parents are screaming at each other from side to side to side to side. I mean, that kind of brings back tough memories. And it was hard to watch at some of these times, but it was because it felt so real and just, it wasn't glamorized. You know, like a lot of times in these movies that we watch, it's making these, even though there are like problems in the families and movies, it's always kind of glossing over a lot of the issues like divorce and all that sort of stuff because it's like, well, even if they do mention divorce, they'll make it work in the end. You know, here it's like, it's not like that's something that you can fix. It's something that maybe shouldn't have been forced together in the first place.
Right.
And I mean, even in this country, there was an old tradition that if you were with somebody or caught to be with somebody that you were found out, then you were expected to marry that person, right? Especially if there was a baby on the way. So even if it was like a one-time mistake or you weren't meant to for each other and it was just kind of the heat of the moment or something sort of thing, now all of a sudden that one decision is going to dictate the rest of your life. And, you know, divorce wasn't a thing, you know, for like your parents' generation, really. It just started later on. I mean, there were divorces, but it was like same thing in society. What are people going to think? What is my family going to think? What are the, you know, and here it's tough to comment on as well because there were a lot of cultural things at play as well, which is, you know, in the societies and what are people going to think, and that is a big thing. I remember one time I was staying with an uncle in New Delhi and I went out for a jog and it was in the middle of the afternoon because I was like, hey, I want to go out for a jog and that's what I'm going to do. Whew, when I got back, I got a huge lecture. He sat me down and he like really railed me for that. And I was like, I just went for a jog. What are you talking about? He's like, people don't do that in the middle of the afternoon because it's hot outside. He's like, do it in the evening or in the morning. People are going to talk, and they are already talking, and then the gossip is going around that like, how is this like strange guy in our society going out for a run in the middle of the afternoon? And he's like, they're talking about us. And he's like, you need to stop this because it's embarrassing, and I don't want the family to be embarrassed by having you do your jogs in the middle of the afternoon. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm just like some person that's only temporarily staying with you. He's like, it still affects us.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, okay, sorry, I went for a jog. I will try to be more mindful of my times where I go out for a jog. And so there's that, and there's so much, and we saw it in some of the shows that are more like reality shows, not just these movies, but in a reality show like Indian Matchmaking.
Yeah.
There was that mom that was like totally doing emotional blackmail, saying like, my blood pressure, and she even checked her blood pressure right in front of her son and said, see, my BP is high, and it's because of you, and you're not getting married. You're doing this to me. You're killing your own mother. How can you do that? You're killing your own mother. I mean, it's so hard.
Yeah.
But, and I'm not saying it's just an Indian culture thing. I think it's like some family dynamics like all over the world. Even here, I know some parents that would do that to their children as well. Like, you don't have grandkids yet. How are you doing this to me? You're not giving me grandkids. So fortunately, I don't have to deal with that because I separated myself a lot like from those kind of ties, and I basically found my own happiness by not trying to please my own family.
Right.
And so staying away from that sort of dynamic is how I was able to find happiness and not stress. Because as soon as I started thinking that life is too short to live it for someone else, I'm going to live it for myself.
Right.
I'm going to do what's going, do what makes me happy, and because it's my life, and I be able to live it the way I want, as long as I'm not hurting anybody.
Yeah. So how many Pani Puri do you give it?
Oh, this is tough. I thought the acting was really well done. It was, at times it was like definitely over the top with the drama, but it's still not typically my type of movie that I enjoy watching just because it's so stressful. And I hate being stressed because, as I already said, I'm a very high anxiety type person. So when I watch something like this, like, it really gets me like, I just want to stop and do something else because it reminds me too much of me growing up. So is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Like, I have no idea. I don't know what to rate this one because it was really well done, because it reminded me so much, and so it was realistic in that way. But at the same time, it's like, okay, well, I don't know. I will give it 7. I was gonna do a 6 because I was like really stressed out, but I'll give it a 7 because I can't give it a 6 because it was just too good of a movie. Like, the acting was really good, like really good and believable, and it felt grounded and down to earth. So I'll give it a 7 for that, but it's not my kind of movie that I would watch. I don't think I could ever watch this again, and I don't know if I would recommend this to somebody because it's really stressful and hard to watch. I definitely wouldn't recommend it to somebody that has tough family dynamics.
Yes.
So, because it might be a trigger. But anyway, what about you? Because you are somebody that did not come from a background of that with your immediate family, that you are very close with your mom and dad, and you're very close with your brother. And so how did you, so that's this is great because we have two very different perspectives. So what did you think?
So, you're right. My family dynamics growing up is a whole lot different than what we saw here. Not to say that we didn't have our own dynamics, but definitely there was a lot more communication, a lot more being honest and upfront about things. And, as we said a couple of times during this, the truth hurts. And yes, you may say something and wow, someone is they feel like they just got scorched and burned by a flamethrower. Okay, and usually they'd walk away very angry and so forth, but then come back and say, okay, I get that, and now let's talk about it more and let's work through this, and so those flame-throwing moments are a lot less if you're communicating a lot more up front. Okay, and a lot of times, even I love how the dog came into this, how the dog would say, there's a lot being unsaid. A lot of times people think communication is only verbal. It is not only verbal. It is also cueing. it's
Body language.
it's body language, it's behavior, it's that little bit of maybe a poke, a nudge, just a look, or something like that. Gives enough information that you kind of already know, okay, we have an issue here. They're unwilling to deal with it right now, but I need to be aware of it, and we at some point are going to have to discuss it. So, I think that when people are much more attuned to each other and not necessarily being so focused on, and this is the thing that I kept hearing over and over, why are you doing this to me?
Yeah.
It's like, it is not always about you. You have to be empathetic and think of the other side and kind of look at that. And so I think when you are more attuned, you're more open to, hey, yeah, I'm feeling angry right now, and I'm feeling as though this is impinging on me. But what about this? If I step out of my body and look at this and say, what about them? They just told me this. That took a lot of courage on their part to say this to me, and they've been struggling with it for how long? So it's those sorts of things that in a better dynamic, it goes easier and it goes smoother. Okay. I found it interesting that they did very accurately portray a lot of times some of the breakdown of that, caring about each other and being connected to each other from a family perspective. And I saw that in the very end. They didn't have to say anything to each other. They just looked at each other and started laughing and smiling, and I'm like, that's that non-communication. They were having the best moment that they had had as a family in a long, long time. Okay? And you also see that a lot of times even in other family dynamics where you're suddenly fighting and something happens, you're all upset about something, you're going at it either verbally or even a little bit physical. Little kids sometimes will do this. And something will happen, and then it's the icebreaker and everyone starts laughing.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, this is so dumb, so foolish and everything. And I like that when that happens, because it basically resets for everybody and says, look, we're all in this together. We all have our own kind of perspective and our own thoughts and our own emotions about this. But at the end of the day, we need to all work so that we can collectively move forward. So that I liked this overall. For me, the biggest thing, again, culturally for me, is I really don't like the gossiping thing, and where people that have
gossip
no
is life.
It's for some people it is. I get that, but I just don't tolerate it. I mean, I am okay with someone telling the truth and letting others know the truth, but I don't want that to be the whole gossip thing. And there are people that love to take the truth, twist it and manipulate it and make it their own story and about them. And,
it's very high schoolish.
Oh,
thing
totally
to do,
high
for sure. And
schoolish.
some people don't grow out of that for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so how much would you rate it?
So I'm going to give this a 7. It's a good solid 7 for me.
Okay.
I think the acting was great. I love the fact that they were all trapped on a ship.
There's something occasionally
about that.
they got a little port where they could go excursions.
But I love this concept of, you've heard the crucible, where basically everything is put in there and you burn it, and whatever is left over is the essence of whatever was put in there. And I love that was this idea of the ship, I think.
Everything was melting down in there.
Everything, for a lot of people.
It was almost like a phoenix, right?
Yes.
As it just burned and died, and then it was reborn.
Yes.
So everyone went into this burning trash fire. It burned, and then they were all reborn. With a stronger relationship.
And you saw how all of the fighting factions all just suddenly coalesced around each other, around a common good. Around,
when the community needed help, everybody, no matter like who was against who.
Exactly.
And I mean, especially when Nuri fainted, and then the dad on the other side of the family, he came in and rushing and then defended her and whatnot. So I mean, then the families were brought together. Another thing that I like that we haven't really mentioned yet that this movie did show are the games that we have in other people's lives and that affect them. And when you play games, whether it seems like, oh, I'm just doing this to get back at them, like like Kabir did with his dad.
Yep.
And he's like, well, what's the harm? I'm just going to do this and I'll
Yep.
play this game because he's playing games with my life, so I'm going to, turn one around. But then you don't think about the people that you are also hurting. So you might be playing the game on your dad, but who's getting caught in the crossfire? Farah, the girl that he liked, and he didn't even consider once to bring her in on it or to get her opinion on it when he started this whole charade.
Right.
And it's like, and a lot of this movie showed the people that got hurt that were not part of the original game.
Exactly.
And it just shows you like not to play those games. You know, it's to when you meddle in other people's lives, whether it's a parent in their children's life or people with their friends' lives or whatever,
their business lives and they intertwine.
It's just like, man, it's people get hurt. And it's never a good way to do business or have relationships. And it's better just to be like upfront. I mean, it's easy to say. It's one more thing to actually.
Well,
do it.
Farah lived an easy life, as she said.
Well,
come from your head and your heart, and it'll be. It's
like
that
you'll
easy.
get through.
You'll
and
get through.
I don't know if it's easy.
It's not easy
because, and I don't know if she ever said it was easy.
No, she
but
didn't. It took hard work.
Yeah, it is hard, and especially for what she did with like only 200 pounds in her pocket to go somewhere, going from someone's sofa to sleeping on a park bench, and doing something because she knew that that is where she was being led, but her family wasn't supportive of it. So she's like, I have to do what I have to do to get by.
Right.
And I read stories of people that just, do terrible things to themselves because they're not living up to expectations. I'm like, leave that. It's your life. Like, do what you want. And then if you're not being supported, you will find it out there. There is support for you.
Right.
Wherever you can find it.
And to that point, coming off of Farah again, that she, as a woman, she was independent. She made her own way. And that theme kind of came up a few different places, success or having made it. And, they played that down on Ashi. Sorry, I maimed it, sorry. They've downplayed that numerous times. And so it was good to see that they had a couple of times where they brought that theme up again. This is how you're allowing yourself as a female to be put down. Or, all the aunties are around there, they're at a cooking class, okay? And it's like, she said, well, who would give us a job? That has been so ingrained on her that that's what she believes. She can't work a job.
They don't see what talents that they have.
Exactly.
Even though, like, everyone has a talent. They have some uniqueness to them that they can go and do something, right? They have a passion. And you just need to find a way to take your passion and turn it into a business or is something that
something that you just want to do for the love of it.
Yeah, but if you want to be independent, like the whole thing is we're talking about independence, right?
Yes.
And if they were going to be independent, then you tried to find something that's a passion of yours and then see what others with that same passion were able to do to make a life out of it. Right. But if it's just something to keep you busy and keep you occupied, then whatever. Find your passion.
And
do
that
your passion.
actually was kind of what happened with the mom. She was trapped because she had no. She didn't have.
And I like that was brought up. Is that Aisha did not want to lose her business, not only because it's like her success story, it's what she did. It's again ground up, just like Kamal. He did not want to lose his business because he started it. It was ground up, and it was like, okay, why should she be forced to lose it? And she's doing really well at it, whereas his business is starting to tank. He's taking it for granted. He's starting to go on these business trips. And, so it was a nice contrast between the two of them and to be from different sides of the equation. So,
gender.
Yeah. So I did enjoy it for all of those things. And I think the only reason that I did give it a 7 out of 10 is just because it drew up a lot of like trauma and stress in my mind. And I was just like, really trying to keep myself together during it. Miguel did not help with him getting angry at every single line that they were saying, and you were like, "Rrr." So
again, that sort of stuff wouldn't have been tolerated in my dynamic of a family. I mean, we would have been cutting each other off to say, nope, you can't do that. That's
can't do that.
You can't do that. That's emotional blackmail, and that's not the game we play.
Oof.
So
all right. Well, you guys let us know what you thought. What are your ratings? Did we miss something? And, this is our first members
Yes,
poll
that's
picked
right,
movie.
yeah.
So thank you. It was a good one, and we will have another poll again. Every Monday we open the poll and we close them on Friday. So make sure you're voting between that time and let us know what movie we should watch next.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. And if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing, sharing, a like button पर maro.